Here at McColl, we want all employees to be constantly aware of the need for working to the highest standard of health and safety good practices. This video is to raise your awareness of some of the key areas of health and safety, and also complements the training that you will be given by your manager relating to your job role in your workplace. In addition, site-specific and general notices are posted on the notice boards and as electronic files on the intranet. And it is essential that you make yourself aware and fully understand the safe working procedures that are relevant to your role. Your manager will complete a health and safety induction with you, and you should ask if you do not understand any area covered. It is the company's policy to take all reasonable steps to ensure the health, safety and welfare of every person present at any of our sites. And anyone acting unsafely, breaking any safety rules and regulations, causing injury to persons or damage to structures that could endanger anyone or that adversely affect the commercial operations in any way will be dealt with using the company's disciplinary procedures. A copy of the company's health and safety policy is available in section 1 of the site activity logbook or on the intranet, which can be accessed on request. Above all else, you must remember that it is always your personal and legal responsibility to act safely whilst you are at work, and to take care not only for your own safety, but also for that of all others. Always remember that you are responsible in law for what you do, and more importantly, for what you do not do. Safety is not someone else's job. It's all about you. Let's now look a little closer at some of our fairly commonplace workplace hazards and safety procedures, so as to avoid accidents happening, which should be everyone's personal mission here at McColl. Slips, trips and falls are the most common of all workplace accidents and may be caused by negligence or lack of attention. However, they can easily be avoided. If you cause or see a spill, whether it be wet or dry, no matter how small, clean it up straight away. Or, if this cannot be done immediately, you must put up a wet floor sign to warn others, whilst you go away to fetch the correct equipment to clean it up properly. If you spot a trailing cable or need to trail one over a walkway, make sure it's covered up or secure. Don't allow rubbish to accumulate anywhere. Clean as you go. The cause of many of the accidents within our stores is news binding tape not being cut and placed into the bins. Make sure that all mats are fixed in place and don't have curled edges. Report any that need replacing to your manager, who in turn will report this to our maintenance team. Be aware of your footing on all surfaces, and if you encounter a slippery or sticky surface, you must act immediately so that it can be treated and remedied. Another area of risk is where there is a change from wet to dry surfaces, and particular attention should be paid to floors during adverse weather conditions. Wet floors should be dried. Appropriate warning signage should be used, and mats should be used where necessary. Where walkway level changes occur, ensure that lighting levels are good and that visibility tread nosings are in place. If not, report it. On slopes, follow the floor markings and use the handrails. Take extra care. If you encounter poor lighting conditions, report it immediately to your store manager. One key area that will help minimise the risk of slips and trips is to wear sensible footwear. For example, non-slip rubber soles with modest heels. You must always comply with the company dress code. Always make sure that if you see something that could cause someone to slip, trip or fall, you must take action immediately to reduce the likelihood of an accident occurring. Manual handling causes more injuries and lost work days than almost any other hazard when not carried out correctly. So, making sure that you do things the right way is essential. There is no completely safe manual handling task, but you must minimize the risk for every lift or move, and you do this by taking the following steps. First, assess the load and where it needs to be moved to. Clear your route and go around slopes if possible. Plan the move. If lifting yourself, then ensure that it is within your personal capabilities, both in weight and in size, and that you can maintain good posture and footing at all times, that there are no obstructions or difficult surfaces for you to negotiate. If you're unsure, then always ask for help. Grip the load with your palms, not fingertips. Test the lift before fully committing yourself. Don't jerk or twist. Move steadily and lift in easy stages. Keep your back straight and use your legs as much as possible. You must position loads on shelves according to weight, heavy at waist height, lighter on top or bottom, making sure that boxes stored at height are sealed. Use mechanical aids or other person for heavy or bulky loads, and place heavy items closest to the point of use to minimize carrying distances. Familiarize yourself with the recommended weight charts provided on the guidance notes on the intranet. But always remember, lifting safely is up to you. Fire safety is paramount within our business to protect ourselves and our customers, and also the emergency services when they attend. It is vital that each individual employee familiarise themselves with the store fire safety and evacuation procedures in the event of an emergency. You must know how to raise the alarm in the event of a fire, the location of alarm call points, if applicable, and where any firefighting equipment is located in your store, and when to use them. Whilst the company does not provide formal training for the use of fire extinguishers and generally do not want our employees to tattle fires, it is important that you have a basic understanding of which fire extinguishers can be used for specific fires and how to use them. When using any form of extinguisher, it is important to remember to always keep the closest fire exit behind you, so that you have a route of escape. There are several different types of extinguisher, and using the wrong type on a fire can usually make it worse. Never attempt to tackle a fire if you're unsure. Water. This extinguisher shouldn't be used on electrical or fat and oil fires. Oil and water don't mix, and it could splatter and spread the flaming liquids, and electricity can travel in water. Use water for ordinary combustible materials such as paper, wood and textiles, making sure that you stay well away from electrics. Foam is best used for petrol, oil and other highly volatile liquids, since it lays a smothering seal over the flames and prevents reignition. However, again, keep this away from electrics. Dry powder, although not in this lineup, is also highly effective against oil, petrol and other volatile liquids, and for vehicle fires, and is generally good for most types of fire, but can obscure visibility in confined areas. Finally, CO2, a clean type leaving no residue, and is generally used for electrical fires as it is non-conductive. However, it is also good for all types of fire, especially in confined areas with the risk of volatile fluids being present, but can be toxic in a very confined space. There may be other firefighting equipment available, such as fire blankets or fire hoses. But, as with all other fire extinguishers, you shouldn't use these unless you've been trained. Make sure that you know where the fire exit routes are and the location of the fire assembly point. Also ensure that you know your role, your colleague's role, and what to do with customers in the event of an emergency. All fire exit routes must be kept clear at all times. Fire exits must be unlocked during hours of occupancy and fire doors kept closed. Fire and toxic gases spread fast, so any delay can cost lives. The manager will conduct fire drill training at least annually. If in any doubt, ask your manager for guidance. The message is to be well prepared, and if you cause or spot a fire, to act swiftly. Don't panic, raise the alarm. Alert all others, evacuate the area. Don't take any risks. Working at any level of height requires constant awareness of the risk of falling, and preparation and precautions for the use of stepladders or footstools in our stores is essential to prevent injury. Always inspect ladders and footstools to make sure that they are clean, in sound condition, and appropriate for use at all times. Never be tempted to use any defective or inadequate equipment. A-frame stepladders must be spread to their fullest restraint extent, evenly, and where fitted, use the locking device. They must be properly and securely levelled for stability and placed at right angles to the work area. They are not designed for any side loading whatsoever, so all your weight must be kept within the side rail's width. Never reach with your waist moving beyond the side rails. Never use the top 2 steps for standing on, unless it is designed for such a footplate position, and there is a handrail extending beyond it. Step ladders should only be used by one person, and the rear part should never be used as a foot support. On footstools, always ensure you stand in the centre, with both feet firmly on the top of the stool, and remain upright. Do not lean out to the side. Remember to always maintain a firm, secure and balanced position all round and never overreach. Whether using step ladders or footstools, never jump down. Always step down slowly. It is essential too that you wear suitable footwear. Sturdy shoes with little or no heels are best. And when finished with, put the equipment away safely. Don't leave it for someone to trip over. One way to prevent accidents reoccurring is by reporting them. And in fact, it is a legal responsibility for you to report all accidents, not an option. This is so that a proper record is made and the cause and effects investigated and remedial actions taken where necessary. All accidents, no matter how small, where injury or damage occurs, no matter how slight, must be reported to your manager immediately, who will in turn report the incident to head office. This means near misses too, where serious injury or damage might have been caused but wasn't. So don't ever let a health and safety incident pass without reporting it to your manager. It could prevent an accident happening. It could save serious injury or even a life, and that life might be yours. Thank you for your attention. We hope that this overview helps you realise the many steps that are taken to prevent accidents in our workplace, and that it is everyone's responsibility to work in a safe manner at all times to protect yourself and all others from harm. Further guidance can be found on the company intranet, or ask your manager for more information.